Alright guys, hello. My name is Andy. I'm the teaching assistant for the software development course, and today I'll just be explaining how to use the Teamworks tool for planning your sprints. Okay guys, so we're going to begin by taking a look at Brightspace. Okay, the first thing we'll do is click on the iteration or the cycle that we're in, and we're going to click here, this. Now this basically tells us what the milestones are for this particular week. We have week 1, 2, 3, and 4 for iteration 1 in this cycle. And here we have the deadlines for each of these submissions. So what we're going to do is take a look at our calendar. If we take a look at week 2, which is, I'm going to show you the example for week 2, we see that it ends on the 10th and begins on the 3rd. So we see that this is Wednesday. Everything is Wednesday, right? The 3rd, the 10th, the 7th, and the 24th. Now this is the reason for this, is because it says that for every section, this corresponds to Wednesday, the day before the laboratory. So when we plan our activity for week 2, we're going to start it on February 3rd and end on February 10th. Okay? When we plan the activities for week 3, they begin on the 10th and end on the 17th. So we're going to go over here and we're going to add a task list. Okay? This is going to be week 2. And we're just going to leave this empty. Okay. Now we're going to add a test task, which is going to give us the duration of the week. So once again, this is going to start on February 3rd and end on February 10th. Okay. Once we've done that, now we can come over here to the Gantt chart, and we'll be able to visualize this week. Okay. So there we go. It starts on the 3rd and ends on the 10th. So this was last week. So the previous week's lab, and then this would be the concurrent week lab, right? So what we're going to do now is create the milestones, okay? So I'm going to click here, add a milestone, and we can just name this week 2 milestone. Now the milestone is basically everything that we should have accomplished by the end of that week. So here we have 2 milestones to complete the individual entity models and to configure the work environment. So those are the 2 that we have to do for that week. So we're going to go over here and let's find that milestone. We're going to hit edit, and over here we're going to put that this is for February 10th. Okay. Now we're also going to add tags, guys. So very important. Here we're going to put that this is cycle 1. So we can put Ciclo 1, we can say C1, doesn't really matter, right? I prefer C1, and here we're going to put the iteration. So we'll just say that this is, let's say, iteration 2, all right? And in the description, I'm going to put this here. These are the 2 things that have to be completed by the end of that week. And here we could say that everyone in the project, now if you put here, select the people, you could select everyone in the group, that those are people that are going to be following this task. Okay, so we're just going to hit update and update the milestone. All right. So now that I've updated these milestones, this milestone, I'm going to close here, and we'll see that it gets moved over here. So we have this activity, and this is the milestone that we need to check to make sure that these activities are complete. All right. Now, once you complete that week, then we'll be able to submit. So now that we've done that, we've created the milestone, we're going to go into week 2. All right. Basically, for each activity that we are going to submit that contributes to the project, we're going to create a task in Teamwork. All right. So here, for example, read about entities and persistence. That doesn't really contribute to the project, so we're going to leave that out. However, this provision the machine, this is probably important, so we're going to click on that, and it's going to take us to a document. Now I like to do is save this into their own folders, so I'm going to save that there, and once I've downloaded that, we're going to open it and see what we have to do. Alright, it seems like it's just some sort of tutorial to make sure that our machines work, but this is just an example. So we're going to come over here, and I'm going to add an activity, a task. And this is going to be provision virtual environment. All right. Now, this creates a task, but it's going to make it way over here since I'm doing this in the past. Now, when we create a task, it's very important that we do this, guys. We're going to go over here and hit edit. All right. Now, here, we're going to say who should do this. Now, we're going to create one for each person, okay? Each individual person has to do this. So, once again, we'll say that this is to start on the 3rd, and maybe we'll finish this on the 4th, maybe. Or maybe on the 5th would probably be valid, okay? So, once we do this, we're going to come over here, and you can write a detailed description, or depending on how much you want to do, maybe we can say, provision the VM and set up the programming environment. And what I like to do also is I like to attach the files that are associated to that. So I'll go over here to week 2 and I'll associate this document to this particular task. Okay? And once we do that, here we can see the privacy of who can see this task. I'll just say that everyone in the group can see it. And we'll select a priority. This is probably a low priority since it's not something too important. Depending on the severity of the assignment, we'll hit low, medium, or high. Now here, for the estimated time to complete, this is completely up to you. Now I would say that this probably takes an hour, so we'll just leave it at an hour. And who gets notifications for this task? Then we can say everyone. That way everyone knows what everyone's doing. Okay? And then this dependency is to list the tasks that need to be completed before completing this one. Now, since it's the first task of the week, it doesn't really matter. Now, over here, does it repeat? We're going to say it doesn't. And you can also put a reminder if you'd like. So, like it say, all the people assigned to the task, which would be only Ingrid, I suppose, in this case. And you can set a reminder on the due date at 9 a.m. for a reminder. And I can say, remember to submit this assignment, or something like that, right? Assignment. All right, and then once we do that, we can go ahead and add the reminder, but I'm not going to go ahead and do that right now. Now, what we're going to do, the last step, is to create a tag once again. So the tag here is C1 for the first cycle, and it's also going to be one of these. Iteration 1, actually. I think I put 2 in the other one by accident. And that's basically it. So when I hit Save Changes, it's going to say it's only visible to the section and to me. And its responsible is Ingrid. So we're going to come back here, and we'll see that this is the task. Now, important thing is I'm going to go ahead here, and I'll say make a copy of this task, right? So I'll just say copy this task. And we can set the destination task list, which is going to be also in week 2. And we'll say copy task. Now here, we'll have a duplicate version, but we're going to modify the person responsible. So now instead of, this will be Julian. And we're going to do this as well, once again. Duplicate this task. We'll hit here, copy this task on week 2 and to this same project. So I'll hit copy task. And here's another one in which I'll assign Maria instead of Julian. Okay? And we're going to do this for every individual activity. Okay? They're all going to start on the same day and they're going to finish on the same day. Okay? Now, let's go back over here and we're going to take a look at the next thing we have to do. So, the next submission is, let's say, this one. Realize the launch of cycle 1. So, once again, we're going to come here. And I'm going to download this PDF. And we'll categorize it into week 2. Okay. Once that's done, I'll take a look to see what I have to do. All right. Here are the instructions, so we can close this. And let's go over here. So now I'm going to add another task. And this task is going to be to, what was it? Oh yeah, this is going to be launch cycle 1. Okay. Now, if we look carefully, guys, at this document, let's go ahead and put this here. It says here that this is a group activity. Okay, so for group activities, what we'll do is, let me go find that. For the group activities, we're just going to set here the people responsible is going to be everyone here. So we're going to say choose more, and we'll select all of these at once. So when we update it, we'll see that everyone in this group is going to be responsible for this task. Now, it'll start when the other one is finished, and it'll finish on the deadline. All right, so this is going to be, let's say, starting on the 5th, and it'll be due, let's say, on the 9th, for example. Right? You guys decide your own deadlines as long as it meets the deadline for the milestone. Okay, and once again, we can put a comment here. We'll just say complete the launch activity for this cycle. We'll attach the files here. So this is going to be launch of cycle 1. Who can see this? Then again, we'll say that these can see it. Now, it might be ideal, actually, I forgot to mention, so Ruby's by default can see everything. I actually recommend that you put both of these. That way I can see it too. I forgot to mention that in the other activity, the other task. And this one, I would say it's a very important task. And we'll set here, this should take maybe, I don't know, 45 minutes. And when we see who gets notifications, only make it so you guys can see it, okay? And now this activity depends on being able to provision the virtual environment, right? So we're going to select the tasks, and we're going to say that it depends on all of these, okay? So we select these tasks. That means that I can't finish this task until these have been finished, okay? And we'll go ahead and add the reminders if you'd like, and don't forget to place the tag. So we'll say here, C1, and this will be iteration 1. I got to change it on the other one. Now, when I hit Save Changes, I'll close this here, and we'll see that there's a little issue here. I did this on purpose. We see how this activity starts on the 5th, but we said that this one finishes on the 6th, so there's kind of a violation here. So we can just do this, and then we're good. You see, this depends on all these previous activities. If I come here, and then I say finish, it won't let me because these have to be finished first. So if I come in here, let's say Maria logs into her account, then only she can select this, and when she finishes the activity, when Julian and Ingrid finish it, once this is done, then this can be finished as well. Okay? And also we can eliminate this test activity now since it's not needed, since that was only used to create this over here. Now, once these two are complete, then we can mark this milestone as complete as well. All right, so let me make this iteration 1, since that was a mistake. Oh, it already exists. Let me go ahead and remove this tag. Or we can just add a new tag, iteration 1. And I'll delete this one. Okay, there we go. So now that we have this, guys, this is week 1 planned, okay? So now let's go ahead and, week 2 planned. Let's go ahead and plan week 3, the same exact thing. We're gonna go back over here, and let's go to week 3, okay? Now it looks like the week 3 deliverables are to implement the entities, persistence, and tests, a mental map, and that seems to be it. Let's go ahead and double check. For week 3, it's basically persistence implemented with unitary tests. So we're going to go ahead and create week 3. I'm going to add a task list, week 3. Week 3. Let me edit this one so that there's a space there. All right, and then once again, we add a regular task, it doesn't matter, which is going to be called test. And in this test activity, which we'll find it over here, we're going to modify it such that the dates align, okay? And this is only to give the start and end date of our week. So this is going to start on the 10th and end on the 17th. I'll just hit Save Changes. And, oops, I think I made a mistake there. It's from the 10th to the 17th of February. So, actually, that seems about right. Did I do something wrong there? Let me double check, guys. Sorry about that. Oh, yeah, there we go. This should start from the 10th, not from the 5th. That's why it looked a little bit weird. Okay, there we go. So, now, when you see, guys, this is something a little interesting. Since this is finished on the 10th, the week will actually start on the 11th. I seem to have made a mistake there. Okay, so here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 days. Since if we take a look here, this goes from the 3rd to the 7th, the 10th, and the 10th to the 17th. Now, you can do it any way you want. You can start it on the 11th to the 18th, or you can make it start on the same day. So we can move this back. Actually, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. This is correct. The day that this milestone's finished is the same day that this one starts. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look here. Yeah, sorry about that. I got a little confused there. So we're going to open up this, and it tells us what to do. So implement persistence with the entities and associate them to unitary tests. And this is an individual activity. All right, each individual must implement their own resources. Now, this is where it's going to be a little bit interesting, guys. So let me save this PDF. All right, it's converting to PDF here. All right, that's taking an awful long time. All right, well, let's just imagine this is already downloaded, right? So we're going to go ahead and open this, and we'll copy the milestone for week 3. We're going to come here, and we'll add a milestone. Week 3 milestone. All right, let me edit this one as well. Okay, now we're going to find that milestone over here. And once again, I don't know, since what happened there. Okay, let me just delete this one. I'm not sure what happened. Okay, so this is going to be milestone, week 3 milestone. And let's edit that one. Okay, so sometimes you have to refresh the screen. There's some errors for some unknown reason it seems to happen. It actually might be that I don't have internet at the moment. I'm going to stop the video just for a second. Alright guys, sorry about that. I seem to have lost the internet connection. Alright, so here we're going to create the week 3 milestone. Alright, so week 3 milestone. And once that's created, I'm going to go ahead and edit. And I'm going to add the tag. So once again, this is going to be C1. And it's also going to have iteration 1. Now we're going to edit this milestone such that it's going to be due on February 17th, which is, once again, this is the next deadline. We'll hit update milestone. All right. And there we go. Now, one thing I forgot to add was the actual milestone. So what should be accomplished in this event? This, basically. So now we know what needs to be done on that day. Now we'll cancel this, and we're going to add the task, sorry, implement persistence. Okay, so once again, this document, I'm going to try downloading it now that I have internet. This is going to be now week 3. There you go, week 3. And there we go. So here, this is going to be implement the persistence particular to your specific responsibilities. Okay. So the way that we're grading the distribution of work, we're going to come here and we'll say create persistence models and tests. Okay, which is basically what this said, right? Implement persistence. So in this activity, I'm going to go ahead and let's begin by assigning it first to Ingrid. And once again, let's say that this is going to start on, let's say, the 11th maybe, or it could start on the 10th. and it'll end on the 15th, for example, right? Let's just say, before the deadline. Once again here, we're going to add some notes. Finish implementing, and this is where it gets interesting, guys. Let's say, for example, that Ingrid is responsible for class A, B, and C, right? So depending on your distribution, we'll say finish implementing persistence for class A, class B, and class C. Okay? Now, this is going to change for everyone. This is where you're going to be monitoring who does what and who's responsible for which tasks. Now, again, I'll add the file here for week 3. Implement the persistence. Who can see these tasks? Everybody on the project can see it. Oh, I forgot to edit something. Give me guys 1 second. We'll edit the importance. We'll say it's medium importance. We'll say this takes, I don't know, maybe 5 hours. And who gets notifications? Let's say all of them do. And this doesn't have any dependencies for the moment since it's a brand new week. Now we'll add the tags on this one, C1. And we'll also add the other tag, iteration 1. Okay, that should be it. Now, when we save these changes, it'll be reflected over here. Oh, I messed up, and the deadline, I forgot to change that. See, that's why it's good to view it in the Gantt chart so that you guys can be aware of that. So this will be February 15th. Okay, there we go. So we could set it up this way, and you can also modify the length over here. Now we're going to do this one more time. I'm going to hit edit, and I'm not going to do it 3 more times. I'm just going to copy it for 1 more person, but you guys should do this for each member in the team. Okay, we're going to copy this task, and we're going to change who is responsible for the task. Let's say this time it's going to be Santiago. Okay, and the description is going to change. He's going to implement persistence for class D, E, and F. Okay, now we're going to save that. Oh wait, no, not the discard. Save changes, and we'll close that. Okay, there you go. Now, something very important, guys, is for every single one of these tasks, what you're going to do is, all right, we can delete this. For every one of these tasks, you're going to have to log how long you took to do this. So the way we do this is, let's say I'm Santiago. I open up this here, and I'm going to put start timer. That's all I have to do. When I start working on this, I hit start timer. Let me hit that here. Oh, I have a timer running on this task already. Okay. So if you take a look here, if I exit this and I start the timer, there you go. So then I can just start, programming, doing whatever I need, working on my project. And when I'm not working, I'll say pause, or I can log this time. Okay, I'll hit OK, and it's going to log the time. It said I spent 1 second. Now you can edit this if you'd like, but it's best if we just leave it honestly. So we'll say here that during this time I created the persistence, oops, all caps. I created the persistence model for class, I don't know, E and F. And then we'll mark this task as complete if it's complete. If not, we'll just save this time log. And let's say we go to work, we go to class, we eat lunch, and then when we come back, we're going to come here to Gantt once again. I'm going to go onto this activity once more. Okay. And I'm going to hit start timer again. See, here we'll see the billable time. And I'm going to hit start timer again. So if I exit this, you'll see that my timer is running here, right? So what you're gonna need to do, guys, is to log how long you spend on each of these tasks. That way your planning gets more and more efficient. All right. So here we'll just let it run for a minute, and you can also take a look here and see the dashboard. And let's say you want to know who's responsible for what, right? We can actually go to list and filter by person. So let's say I want to find all the activities assigned to Ingrid. So I'll come here and I'll be able to see the activities here. Provision virtual environment and create persistence models and tests. That way it's a lot easier for you guys to see who's done what and who hasn't done that. And you can also come here and you can edit the progress, right? Now once you're done, we'll hit here. If you hit the 100%, it's going to mark this as complete. And that's basically everything you need to know, guys. I really expect to see a lot better planning in the activities to come. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and erase this, and I'll let you guys follow the video, and if you have any questions, then you guys can let me know. Alright, so that'll actually be everything for this. I'm going to stop the video now.